Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to another episode of TekTopia. In the last episode, in case you missed it, there was a tragedy. We lost 4 guards during a rather brutal necromancer attack. Pretty much, we built some platforms for the necromancer to spawn on, we got some guards, and the theory was it was plain and simply just going to be a quick spawn kill from the guards on the necromancer, but it didn't quite pan out that way. And so, due to my own incompetence, let's be honest, it was my fault, it's not really the guards' fault, they were not prepared for the battle. We lost 4 of our best guards. They were Benvolio Hindergrass, Jonathan Webb, Ventia Baldric, and Ariella Weigar. So at some point today, I think we should do a little something just to honor them, and it can be my sorry from beyond the grave on their behalf. I'm fine, I survived. They definitely didn't. In between episodes, I did go ahead and purchase 4 more guard tokens. They're pretty cheap, so it wasn't too bad. I am very low on emeralds though now. I think I got like 4. And I've also got the 4 hearts to spawn in. Oh, lots of 4s. 4 guards, 4 emeralds, and 4 hearts. I've got the hearts to spawn in so we can get some more children that will eventually grow up and become guards. And hopefully they will not die. But yeah, let's go ahead and spawn these in. We should have the room because I think every single villager we spawned in last episode turned out to be a guard, so I'm pretty confident that we actually have like 1,000,000 beds free to spawn in some villagers when we do. Not sure if that'll be today, but we got it ready when we're ready. So today we are going to be building another one of these, an apartment building, which really is not needed at all right now. There's like over half of the room left in this building alone. So building another one, at the moment it's definitely overkill. But having said that, we only have 2 more platforms to fill out, technically 2.5 because we still got to put a covering on that building at some point. But I thought I'm just going to go ahead and get it built because I don't really want to do that just yet, and I don't know what I'm doing on this platform specifically. I've got some good ideas because I asked you guys for some a couple of episodes ago, but I haven't fully decided on what I want it to be. So just for now, because I've got the building all designed, we're going to make another apartment. Make that plural. There's obviously going to be more than one apartment. I don't think there's going to be quite as much space as we have in this one. It might be a few less rooms, but still, it's going to be a pretty big building. This building is going to have a lot of glass, which at the moment we're awfully low on. I'm going to need like over 30 stacks, I think. So 3 is not going to quite cut it. I do have some sand around here. I'm just not sure if it's enough. So we may have to do some sand collecting today. No, okay, we got a whole shulker box full of sand, so that should be enough to get enough glass to actually build this building. Having said that, we then need the concrete to make the actual building. It's not only going to be glass, there is going to be some of our concrete involved. But we have a little bit here. Okay, I think we should be fine. I'm not really too up for a sand collecting mission today, so if I can save that for next episode or in between episodes, that would be ideal. So I'm going to grab some of this, smelt up into glass, and then pretty soon we can get started with the building. Well, there goes the super smelter, filling up all of the furnaces with sand here, and this is gonna take a while. Oh, lots of food. Don't mind if I do. Even though we have 32 furnaces in total here, smelting through like over a shulker box full of sand is still gonna take a little while, so what should we do whilst we wait? Maybe not the best thing to do because we're actually going to have to go out of render distance for this one, but I am nearly out of rockets. I think I have 1 stack other than the 26 I have in my inventory right now, so I should probably stop wasting them and instead make a trip over to Esteria where I have all of my gunpowder from my creeper farm. And here we have arrived. Long time no see, my beautiful desert villagers. How are we all doing? Hopefully very well. I'm not actually going to spend that long looking around here because I plan to, once we finish our Optora X futuristic city, I'm going to do a world tour again. So we'll check this place out in a few episodes in a bit more detail. But for right now, I need to head to my creeper farm, which was where? It's been so long. Oh, under this well, I believe. I think if we just drop down through here, we should plop into our creeper farm. Yep, you can hear him dying. That is actually not as much gunpowder as I thought there would be, but still enough to fill up a shulker box or two. Actually, come to think about it, if I remember correctly, I had a bunch of, yes, bulk storage behind the walls here, because I filled up those chests super quickly, so I think at least some of these, okay, maybe all of them, with the exception of 3, are full up of gunpowder, so yeah, I'll take all of that home. Well, as much as I can carry, at least. We are back home safe and sound, so let's just chuck some of our rockets in there. I don't have much paper at the moment, and I could craft some, but for now, that'll be fine. And I believe this is still going with quite a lot left. Yes, still quite a few sand stacks, or not that much actually, but still, it's going to take a little while before we're all done here. Miner, why are you taking damage? What is it now? I don't need more villager deaths, please. Please, no more. Have you fallen into the fire again? Is that what the problem is? I think he fell into the fire again. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get rid of this fire. I know mobs can now spawn down here. If I actually just press F7, you can see all of these are mob spawning spaces. But I think if I just maybe put 1 or 2 guard tokens down here, that should actually be enough to keep the miners safe. But I'm very low on emeralds at the moment, so for now, a torch will have to do. This is odd. One of my furnaces here have so much more sand than the other ones. Oh, these two. What happened with those two? Why have they all gone into there? That makes absolutely no sense. The only thing I can think maybe to do with loading and unloading chunks. Minecarts are a little funky sometimes. Maybe it was something to do with that. Either way, the glass is coming in just very, very slowly. So, we've got some more time to kill, and I'm gonna spend my time just gathering resources for the build. Nothing that exciting, it's something I need to do, shouldn't take too long, and hopefully should coincide quite nicely with the timing when this is finished smelting, with the exception of these 2 furnaces. Honestly, what is going on here? Is there like some crazy amount of sand? Yeah, what is happening with that? Let's get that out of there and maybe put it back in the minecart furnace. Minecart chest, I meant to say. Not a minecart furnace. The glass has finished smelting, and I have got all of my resources together here, as you can see in the shulker boxes, so I'm going to collect these up. And before we start building, I would just like to check on the children and see if they've turned into nitwits just yet. The answer is no. They are still in fact children, and very, very creepy ones at that. Look at those eyes. Absolutely terrifying. The next question I have for myself is, what should I do with all of these animals? This is the platform that we're going to be building on, and at the moment these guys are kind of in the way. I don't really want to just kill them though, because if we just do a quick flight over to the other side again, you can see we have our animal pens. Now on this side, they're all full up, very, very nice. However, the 4 over here don't currently have the tokens, so they're not valid at the moment. And they're going to have to be full up at some point in time, and villagers, the ranchers, they can't take certain animals from one pen to the other, at least I don't think so. So I'm going to need some to roam free in the city, so I might just grab a bunch of leads and drag them over to here, maybe, just slightly out of the way, pretty much. In other news, our guards seem to be getting more well equipped, which is nice. They've actually got some armor now, so when a necromancer does attack, hopefully soon enough they'll be ready to take them on, and it'll be a bit fairer of a fight. Anyway, I'm going to relocate these animals, and then we can get started on the building. I pressed the wrong button there. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, let me move the animals and then we'll get started on the building time lapse. Hope you guys enjoy. This building is nothing more than an empty see-through shell at the moment, and to be honest with you, it's not really going to change from that. All I've got left to do is add in the floors and the staircase leading up to them all. I kind of wanted to have the big open windows so that you could either see through out to the ocean or to the city, depending on which apartment you're in. Privacy is nowhere near as important as the views, of course. Who cares about privacy? So yeah, all I've really got to do is, like I've said, add in the floors and staircase. So the staircase is going to go in the center here, and we're going to have each floor basically sectioned off by all of these windows. So there's going to be kind of 4 different sections with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 floors to each of them. So how many is that? 20 rooms in total, and I think they're going to be 6-person homes or 4. I can't remember. Either way, there's going to be quite a few villagers inside of here. So before we start doing that, I do just have to let you guys know that I have in fact handed out the guard token. So I believe if we actually... Oh, sorry villagers, you can sort that out. My poor flying skills. If we head over to our guard building maybe, and then we can see how many of these beds are full and just make sure we're at max capacity. So all of these are green, and we're missing 2 over there. Is that correct? It's been a little while since I recorded the last episode, so I honestly cannot remember what we did. How many guards do we have? Let's see here. Professions, guard, 27, that's quite a lot. Did we get 27 last time? Like I said, I can't really remember. Either way, those 4 guard tokens got handed out because the children did in fact grow up into nitwits, so we no longer have any employed villagers at the moment. That will probably change in the next episode. Not that we're ending off this episode anytime soon, we still have quite a few more things to do, but yeah, I'm thinking next episode maybe we could just focus on really gaining the levels of the villagers up a little bit, get the population rising, but not to worry about that at the moment. What I need to worry about is filling this out with all of the floors and maybe making it look not quite so hollow as it does right now. This may not look like a lot has changed, but it's taken me a real long time to do. Pretty much really quickly I ran out of concrete powder materials, sand and gravel, so I had to go get some more, but of course my tools were all fully depleted, my shovels in particular, so I had to go mend them up at my gold farm, get the sand, get the gravel, craft the concrete powder, convert it into concrete, which takes forever and is so boring, and then of course, you know, place all the blocks. So this looks very similar, you might think, but yeah, quite a lot of work has gone into this, so it's been some time since the last clip, but I'm happy to say all of the floors and the staircase and the walls are in place. So let me just show you, I guess, the staircase first of all. So this is kind of replicated a little bit like what we have with the other one, except it's just split in half instead of into 4 quarters. So this half is the same as this one. So there's another entrance around the back as well with a separate staircase. So you can go up here, come round to the side, go in the first floor or the second floor, it depends on where you're from in the world, I think is how you refer to that, then the next floor, and so on and so forth, all the way to the top level here. So the staircase, of course, with these sort of things you need to go careful with designing them because you need them to be wide enough but, you know, not take up too much room so you don't actually you can have room to place in the rooms. So 2 wide is fine, 3 wide is more than enough, and there's no possible way for the villagers to fall off and hurt themselves with this design, which I love because very occasionally they'll do it with that one over there. They'll like get a tiny bit of fall damage, but it's never that bad really, just a little bit. So yeah, that's the staircase, which works wonderfully. Very excited at some point in time to see how the villagers get on with this in comparison to the other one. However, as you can see, the rooms are completely empty at the moment, and we'll remedy that very shortly by placing in some beds, some chairs, and maybe a table or 2 in each one. Nothing too extreme because obviously any blocks that aren't villager blocks or just open spaces take up floor space, and at the moment in each of these apartment rooms there is, I want to say, 80 something floor spaces, so that gives us a bit of wiggle room for building because you need 72 in total for a 6-person home, which is what all of these are going to be. So bearing in mind we're able to do that, this new apartment building will hold 120 villagers, which is slightly less than the one over here. I want to say this is around 140 something, maybe 144. So in total, we have a lot of space for villagers. Whether we're actually able to fill them up with villagers is a different thing though. I keep saying I want to have lots and lots of citizens running around the city here, but I mean, that's nearly like 200, 300 villagers. That's gonna take a lot of grinding for emeralds. So my ambitions are high. I would like to get more than we have in any other villages, so over 100, because that's the max at the moment. So maybe if we can't do 250, like 150 sounds reasonable. Admittedly, that does kind of make having these two massive apartment buildings kind of pointless, but that's okay. I got the extra space if I need it, and if I can fill them all the way up, awesome. If I can't, it's really not the end of the world. So in each of these rooms, we're going to have 6 beds all up against this back wall here. We're also going to have one painting here, another one here covering the sea lanterns, and then a bigger one over here on this wall. One of the 2x4 I think you can get. In fact, I think that might just be the same painting. So there's going to be some repetition with the art in this building, but that's okay. So we got the paintings, we got the beds, and then we're going to have a little table here in this section, and then a larger one over here with 6 chairs in total. So not very decorative in here. It's quite simple, but like I said earlier, we got to go careful with the floor space and not put too many building blocks down, otherwise we sacrifice the villagers not being overcrowded, which of course we kind of want to prioritize. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 20 lots of everything I've just said, and slowly but surely make my way through all of the levels on this apartment. Doesn't that now look a whole lot better? Admittedly, it doesn't even come into render distance most of the rooms until you get close to it because of the beds and the paintings and the chairs, I think, but still, it looks a million times better with stuff actually inside of it, which is great. Although it is a bit repetitive, that's okay. Apartments kind of are. That's sort of the point of them. So there we go. That is our second apartment building all done. I guess we can head inside some of these rooms and actually take a look. Let's go in here first of all. So these do slightly differ. I'll see if you guys can notice a difference. So here is one of the rooms on this level, right? Then if we actually go down to the next level where the door is on this side, can you notice the difference? It's very, very slight, which is why I'm not bothered that it's not symmetrical. It doesn't really mess with me about too much, but it's the fact that the beds are placed different because the door is here, obviously. I didn't really think about that beforehand because I didn't do the entire apartment in my creative world. I just did one of the rooms, and the bed here is pushed all the way up against the other side, and we have a 2-block gap in the middle, so it's a bit more symmetrical in these rooms, but in the one where the door is nearer, this is not the staircase, nearer the middle, it has to be put slightly off, so they're all just 1 block apart, but it's fine. I just wanted to show you to see if you can notice before I told you. But yeah, the rooms themselves, we just have the little table here, the slightly larger table here, the beds of course, and then some paintings on the wall just to break up the blankness that we have in here. We do also have some residents already living inside of the apartments, which is nice. 2 chickens who just flatly refuse to move. I've pushed them down multiple times and they just come all the way back up here, so I guess you guys can stay if you really want to. As I think I mentioned earlier, in the next episode, I'm going to try and get a whole bunch of villagers. So for the meantime today, we're not going to be moving in any actual citizens other than the chickens inside of here. I think I'm going to fill that apartment out first of all, and then maybe move on to this one. Or maybe I'll do like half and half and expand to each of them gradually the more and more villagers we get. But yeah, that is what we're going to be doing next episode. So maybe we can get this place up and running a little bit. Of course, we do have to actually buy tokens. It all gets very, very expensive, like 6-person home tokens, right? We would need 20 of them. Another resident, how wonderful. We would need 26 person tokens. So maybe before we end off the episode here, let's actually see how expensive that would be for the tokens alone, not even taking into account the actual villager professions from the tradesman here. As you can see, 43 for a cleric. My whole 250 villager mark, it's looking doubtful, I must be honest. It's gonna get crazy expensive, but it would cost, let's see here, I don't even know how many emeralds that is. Let me do some maths off camera. 22.5 stacks of emeralds. I don't think I've ever had even half of that all at once. So, yeah, I don't know whether we're actually going to be able to get the goal of fully maxing out all of these apartments, as well as the barracks that we also have as well, although I think those might actually be nearly full by now. But still, we definitely have enough space for however many villagers we do end up getting. So this is where we're going to say goodbye for today's episode, everyone. It may be a little bit shorter than the usual ones, I'm not really sure. I've kind of ran out of time for this week. I need to get started on my other videos that aren't TekTopia. This is all I had time for this week, so sorry for the slightly shorter episode. I hope you guys still enjoyed. In between episodes, I'm going to do a lot of emerald grinding. I'm gonna see how many I can get together from trading with the merchant and to trading with my vanilla villagers over there. I'm gonna do both of those. I may even go back to the older villages and gather some supplies from there to help me with the trading, just to, you know, make this process of getting all of those villagers and getting all those emeralds a little bit easier. So if next episode is a little bit longer than this one potentially has been, that's why. It's because I'm on the emerald grind. So I'm not really looking forward to that, but hopefully it'll be a cool thing next episode when we can just get a whole population boom in the city here. I think that would be very fun. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think of the building behind me here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.